your hand, you have the Y of your hand. We're going to go ahead and place that handle into the Y. And we're going to wrap these 3 fingers onto the handle. The thumb goes over the bolster, and that pointer finger goes over the bolster on this side. Okay? So now you've got your grip on your knife, and now we need to know what to do with the other hand. If we are going to be cutting something round, like an onion or a piece of corn or a carrot, these things tend to roll on you. So what I like to do very first is cut it in half. Now that gives us a flat side, so it's not going to roll around on us. The next thing we like to do is tuck our fingertips in. I like to pretend like I'm holding a small ball or an egg in the middle. I actually touch my fingertips together. And that's how I'm going to hold the food. When you cut down, you always want to cut away from yourself, never towards yourself. Away, never towards. So we're just going to take all of our chopped veggies and throw it on a cookie sheet. Same thing with the tomato. If you want to make a flat side, tucking those fingers in. We're going to let the knife do the work, especially on tomatoes. The skin is harder to cut through than the flesh. So if you flip it and the skin side is up, you're going to have a harder time slicing through that unless your knife is super sharp. I always like to flip them. And we're just going to do a rough chop here. We're going to throw this whole tray in the oven and give it a good char. So we're going to pay attention to which vegetables take to cook. The onions will take longer to cook. So I chop them smaller than the tomato, which will take less time to cook. We can leave those chunks of tomato nice and big. We're just going to mise en place this right on the tray. If you remember, mise en place means keeping everything in its place. And that's why I had this tray nice and set out. Everything we're going to need. Take the flesh of the bell pepper. Take these ribs out. They can be bitter. You want to cut away from yourself or keep your fingers.
Hold on. My storage is
Out of the way. Bell peppers, like the onions, are going to take a little bit longer to cook. You can see here that I've got the flesh side up as I'm cutting into these rough chopped small pieces. Turn this way. Claw grip. Using my fingertips as a guide. Next, we're going to add a jalapeno. Mildly spicy, earthy flavor. You don't want any spice, you could take the seeds and the pith out. I'll show you that. We're going to quarter. And then you can take your tip of your knife. And what I always tell my students is that tip of your knife, the front section, that is for accuracy in your cuts, okay? So if I want to set a thickness on, say, a sliced tomato, I am going to use the tip of that knife. It is where you're going to find your accuracy. If the back of your knife is your power, okay, this back end. Think about chopping parsnip, moving real slow, getting my hand out of the way. And then you can get all the seeds out and the white part that holds the seeds on, known as the pith, and you could use that for your salsa if you don't want it spicy. But instead, we're just gonna throw all of ours in. We like it spicy.